Okay, we are live. Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. I hope everybody is doing well. We'll just wait for 5 more minutes, and we can start by 7 around.
Sure.
Hello, everyone. I hope everybody is doing fine. All those people who are joining us right now, please make sure that you write at least hi, hello in the comment section so that we know you are here. Hello, everybody. I hope everybody is doing fine. So, we are back with our AMA session, which is Ask Me Anything, which we conduct on every Fridays. So, today we have a registered dietitian who is also an expert in diet for diabetes. We welcome you, Ujjwala. How are you
Thank you.
doing?
Yeah, I'm doing great. Thank you so much.
Okay. So, everybody is, I think, already aware what we are going to talk about today. जैसे कि हमने हमारे फेसबुक ग्रुप पर अपडेट किया था, आज हम बात करेंगे एक बहुत ही इम्पोर्टेंट टॉपिक पर, समथिंग दैट वी हैव बीन कंज्यूमिंग एवर सिंस वी वर एक्चुअली बॉर्न, यू नो. So I hope you must have guessed it right. We are going to discuss about our milk and milk products good for diabetes. That is the topic for today. So I think to take up the very first question, Ujjwala ji, could you please let us know whether milk and milk products are even safe for diabetes?
So, milk has been one of the staples in all households, specifically Indian household, because जब हम पैदा होते हैं तो माँ का दूध wean off करने के बाद में the first that thing that clicks anybody is like अभी animal milk चालू करना है, and somebody who if the child is not willing to take milk, the mother gets worried and she feels अरे यार ये दूध नहीं पी रहा है, ये बढ़ेगा कैसे? Okay, that is just from the perspective it has calcium, it has so much of nutrition. So now when over the years, it's become a question mark whether it is actually good to drink milk in these days, because the way it has been processed, it has been brought onto the table, and specifically in diabetes, because जिस तरह से पहले दूध बनता था, it was fresh from the animal and it was heated at home directly, but now we have pasteurization, homogenization, more than that, which is essential. ये सब treatment जरूरी है from the animal to the table that we wanted, but what's more that is added to this milk that is being produced to the animal is being injected. The animal is injected with a lot of hormone. It is treated with hormone therapy to produce a lot of milk more than its potential. So आप यही समझिए कि like if a cow were to give 20 liters of milk in a day, now it is forced to give 40 liters and even hundreds of liters a day. This is with the help of injections that they are forced to masticate so much. तो इस वजह से ये थोड़ा सा अनहेल्दी जोन में चला गया है, and people have started questioning whether drinking milk is now healthy. So my whole idea is कि if you can really source the type of good quality milk, if it can be done in that way, definitely milk should be consumed by diabetes people as well, because it helps to fill the stomach. But having said that, it should not be eaten consumed in large quantities more than required, because eventually it still has sugars, it still has fat, it has that milk carbohydrate, that is milk sugar, that is lactose. तो जिसको lactose intolerance है और उनको नहीं मालूम है कि उनको lactose intolerance है, and they are showing all signs and symptoms, it is going to be troublesome for them. Okay, anyways diabetes mein pachan kriya jo hoti hai, that means the digestive system becomes weak. So to digest that fat, heavy fat, if the person is used to consuming buffalo milk, and now a health professional has told them that okay, now it's supposed to take switch to cow's milk या फिर skim milk, the person doesn't like it. They feel अरे यार ये क्या है, मैं तो पानी पी रहा हूँ ऐसे लग रहा है. And if they're not able to make
True.
that change, it is going to hurt their health. Keeping in mind the buffalo milk is going to be very heavy on the fat percent because it has 6 percentage of fat, wherein the cow's milk has 3% of fat. And when we are talking about toned milk, slim milk, this further reduce the amount of fat percentage. So we have to focus on the type of milk. We can keep it as the staple in the diet, but it has to be under proper calculations and considerations of the daily diet. मतलब आप दूध भी पी रहे हैं, आप दही भी ले रहे हैं, आप पनीर भी ले रहे हैं, then you're heavy on the ghee, butter. These are all dairy products, and we have to account for all this into the diet, but just not the milk per se.
Right. So, Ujwala, like you mentioned, people not being aware of what is lactose and, them not being concerned about this. Could you please explain what is lactose-free milk and also skimmed milk?
Okay, so lactose-free milk is milk which is free from lactose, that is the milk sugar. तो वो इंडस्ट्रियल लेवल पे उसमें से मिल्क शुगर को निकाल दिया जाता है, केमिकली ट्रीट करते हैं दूध को जिस तरह से उसमें से लैक्टोज निकल जाता है, एंड इट इज देन विद मिल्क प्रोटीन दैट इज केसीन, एंड इट हैज व्हे एंड इट हैज मिल्क फैट. तो लैक्टोज निकाल दिया जाता है, इट इज वेरी बेनिफिशियल फॉर पीपल हु हैव लैक्टोज इंटॉलरेंस. इसी प्रकार से स्किम मिल्क जो होता है, स्किम मिल्क में फैट परसेंटेज एकदम जीरो भी कर देते हैं. So it totally depends on how toned or how skimmed the milk is. In India, we do get some brands which specifically label this is reduced to 2%, 1%, or zero fat milk. So we need to be very careful while picking up if you're looking for skim milk, what kind of milk. So jitna zyada fat percentage उसमें कम होगा, you have to understand that the carbohydrate content is higher. Naturally it will go higher because और उसका जो impact हमारे blood sugars पे होगा वो ज्यादा होगा. That means if we are going for skim milk, the effect of fat is to reduce the glycemic index. That means आपने एक कप दूध पिया, लो फैट पिया, स्किम मिल्क पिया, तो उससे आपका ब्लड शुगर जल्दी से स्पाइक अप होगा इन कंपैरिजन टू मिल्क विच इज नॉट स्किम मिल्क बट इट इज टोन्ड. मतलब अगर उसमें 3% फैट है इन कंपैरिजन टू 0% फैट, 3% फैट वाले मिल्क से ब्लड शुगर का नेगेटिव इम्पैक्ट कम होगा. So it is going to be beneficial than consuming zero fat milk. So in my opinion, somebody, and there has been researches, there have been a research which has actually shown that somebody who wants to have a very close a calculation of their sugars and their fat percentage in the diet, then for them lactose free with low fat milk is actually shown to give good response in diabetes. उनका blood sugars improve हुआ है, तो क्योंकि उसमें से कार्बोहाइड्रेट भी निकाल दिया है, that is the lactose. But if you were to ask कि उसमें से skim milk ले लो and lactose वहीं रखना है, then definitely the milk sugar, that is the lactose, is going to have a negative impact because it becomes very concentrated.
Yeah, I think you pretty much covered it because my next question to you was what is the impact of milk on diabetes patients and what are the nutrients that are there in the common milk that we consume on daily basis. So does it also impact on the increase of blood sugar levels? क्या वो blood sugar level को भी impact करता है?
Yes, so the more richer the fat the milk is, so if it is heavy on the fat percentage, जैसे मैंने बताया कि बफलो मिल्क होता है, भैंस का दूध होता है, उसमें फैट परसेंटेज बहुत होता है, so it will definitely have a lower impact. मतलब उसमें से आपका ब्लड शुगर का स्पाइक कम होगा and it is healthier in that sense. But उसमें because it has high percentage of fat, milk fat, that means it has lot of saturated fat. Now this saturated fat which is there, अगर आप समझो पूरे दिन में घी इस्तेमाल ही नहीं कर रहे हैं, you're not consuming any form of butter, cheese, then you can still afford to consume this bhais ka doodh ya buffalo's milk. But if you're really using all sorts of fats in the diet, dairy fat, then it is going to be harmful. So try to create a balance. You create a balance in such a way that आप skim milk मत लो. Don't go for a zero fat milk or very toned milk. Go for 3% cow's milk जो आपको regularly मिल जाता है, but go for good quality one. Like you talk to your milkman. उनको पूछिए कि where are you sourcing this milk, which brand you are looking for, because nowadays people are actually buying the packeted milk, right? तो
Correct.
उसमें भी
Yeah.
उसका सोर्स पता लगाइए. If you can actually spend a little extra on the quality of the milk, wherein they are assuring you that the animal is grass fed and not grain fed, it is going to be more beneficial, because grass fed animal has more protein content in their milk and the quality is better. uh, Also nowadays there are farms which are actually coming up with very limited number of animals. मतलब उनके पूरे farm पे ही just there are 20 or 30 animals. उनके through वो जितना production कर पाते हैं उतना ही वो sell करते हैं. They don't force the animal to produce more milk. So you as a consumer want to look for you need to look for such kind of dairy production houses and source your milk from such sources, because then they are hormone free, and then you're not feeling guilty about the quality of milk and the negative impact on your health. So go for cow's milk. That's fine. But if you have to really look at the impact of it on diabetes, it is beneficial in some way because it fills you up, but you can't go overboard. So it has to be in totality of your yogurt, paneer, dairy consumption, teas, coffees, sabka hisab. And that's where a dietitian plays a role, wherein she totally considers the day's intake of dairy products as well, and then assigns कि भाई आपको पूरे दिन में say 200 ml या 300 ml proper milk consumption जो है, be it in the form of tea, coffees, however you want to have. Like now this is summer season, तो amras में भी जाएगा. So whatever your consumption is, it has to be limited to this.
Correct. And like you mentioned, be it any age group, people are so addicted to consuming chai or tea on daily basis. So what suggestions do you have for those people? Because I remember last week I put up a poll on Facebook जहाँ पर मैं चाय ऑप्शन डालना भूल गई थी, and people are really commenting in the comment section कि चाय कहाँ है. So what do you want to suggest for those people?
See, yes, it's a very good question, because people are so used to, because even when we take the food recall from different clients, they are so used to this bed tea concept. तो bed tea क्या होता है कि आप बिस्तर पे ही चाय पीते हैं, like you are actually not stepping out of the bed, or even if you're stepping out of the bed, you're going directly into the kitchen. Max आप ज्यादा में ज्यादा brush करते हो. Some people don't even do that, and they just want to drink tea to wake themselves up and put their sanity in place. So in that sense, the concept of be it bed tea or be it any kind of tea as a first thing, the regular milk tea jo hoti hai as a first day's consumption, I will not suggest. I don't recommend it at all. In fact, मेरे अगर clients बोलते भी हैं कि we are so used to it, then definitely we try to bargain, and we will create a space for some other stuff. But of course हम हफ्ते में एक दो बार उनको बोलेंगे कि you try to squeeze in this, and then आप अपना बेड टी या जो भी फर्स्ट टी है उसको थोड़ा सा टेपर डाउन करो क्वांटिटी वाइज, बिकॉज milk tea is going to be acidic in nature. So the milk by itself is acidic in nature as an ingredient. The tea leaves by themselves are also acidic in nature. So the
Okay.
tea concept is acidic. और हमें क्या चाहिए when we are waking up, तो रात भर हमारे स्टमक में ऑलरेडी एसिड बहुत बना हुआ होता है. So now we are just forcing our stomach to produce more acid in response to the acidic tea that we have consumed. So we want something instead which is alkaline in nature to start a day with. So many people drink lemon water as first thing. That should be a choice. But if the person feels irritability on the teeth or else in the internal system after consuming lemon tea, there are many other herbal teas. या फिर herbal teas से मतलब है चाय पत्ती मत डालो आप. You just can take ginger tea or lemon tea or whatever, but आप चाय पत्ती और दूध का इस्तेमाल नहीं करके start your day on an alkaline note rather than this acidic note. So I'm not much in favor of. Even people take black coffee for that matter. They say कि हम दूध नहीं डालते, we just start a day with black coffee. Not a very good idea.
So, so many points to notice for our people. So, what are the best milk options for diabetes individuals?
So diabetes people can, if specifically dairy ले रहे हैं, to go for cow's milk. One, I am also much in favor of non-dairy milk. So if you can try to make your teas and coffees, yeah, regular consumption to almond milk, or you can alternate it with coconut milk. These are very good options as well because they are alkalizing. They don't have this acidic pH. At the same time, you can dilute them and consume also. Okay, it's just a matter of inculcating a habit. People have also been trying rice milk abroad. Rice milk is very easily available. Soya milk is also one of the other options. And I personally believe that as much as you can try making these dairy alternative dairy options at home instead of buying the ones from the store, because shelf पे अगर है तो उसमें पक्का thickener डाला हुआ है, there is stabilizer, there are preservatives to let it be on the shelf for 6 months. So instead, what one can do is simply make almond powder, fine almond powder at home, and if and you just keep it. If you feel that it doesn't store well, it becomes rancid. So make small batches. एक एक हफ्ते का बनाइए या एक महीने का बनाइए. Don't make it for months together, and just take 2 spoons of it, dilute it in hot water and drink it. So that is the simplest thing that one can do. Or else you can simply buy coconut powder, which is good quality, not filled with a lot of fillers, and that coconut also, that can be also reconstituted to coconut milk. So there are various options that are available to make your non-dairy options available. It's just a matter of fact, what do you choose? So try making them at home. They are not cumbersome. They are very easy, and you can actually wean off yourself partially from dairy, animal milk, and also just help your digestive system to relax a bit, because of course dairy is heavier to digest in comparison to these kind of milks.
I think very good options. One, almond milk, and second, I think you mentioned coconut milk also. And these are very easily accessible everywhere, so we can definitely consume these things on daily basis. So my next question to you would be: there are so many varieties when it comes to consuming yogurts. Yogurt में आजकल इतने सारे flavors आ चुके हैं. So what do you think? Is it safe for people?
So yogurt is actually very beneficial, specifically for diabetes as well, because it has good gut bacteria. It has shown to help or improve the insulin resistance. तो डायबिटीज क्यों होती है? क्योंकि पेट पे चर्बी बढ़ती है, एंड उसकी वजह से पेट पे जो चर्बी बढ़ती है, जो रिसेप्टर सेल्स होते हैं इंसुलिन के, वो फैट से कोटेड हो जाते हैं एंड दे बिकम इनसेंसिटिव. तो जब नेचुरल इंसुलिन भी जो शरीर में बनता है, वो हमारे फूड में जो ग्लूकोज होता है उस पर एक्ट नहीं कर पाता है. दैट्स द रीजन व्हाई इट ऑलवेज द शुगर्स आर ऑलवेज स्पिलिंग इन द ब्लड. सो दही खाने से हमारा डाइजेस्टिव सिस्टम एक्टिव रहता है, हेल्दी रहता है, हमारे पेट पे चर्बी कम बनती है, एंड एट द सेम टाइम इट जस्ट एड्स इन डाइजेशन. बिकॉज डायबिटीज में, जैसे मैं पहले भी बता रही थी, डाइजेस्टिव सिस्टम थोड़ा कॉम्प्रोमाइज हो जाता है because of the high blood sugars. So the yogurt by itself really helps. So if one were to have yogurt, you can actually look for Greek yogurt, which is there in the market. It has a lot of fiber, inulin, which is oligofructose saccharide, a type of fiber which is very important with the combination of yogurt to digest. If you don't want to buy Greek yogurt because it is definitely heavier on the pocket, it is expensive, you can simply just take घर पे एक कटोरी दही, उसके अंदर आप आधा चम्मच इसबगोल डाल दीजिए. You are kind of creating similar thing, but of course Greek yogurt is Greek yogurt. You cannot make Greek yogurt in this fashion at home. So this is one way. What you need to skip when you're buying yogurt from outside, don't go for flavored yogurts. They are loaded with a lot of flavors, artificial flavors and colors, unless you're really buying something which is, handy and it stays just 2 or 3 days ka shelf life. That means it is made at a small scale and इसमें really fruit chunks hai. You do get mango yogurt nowadays in the market, diabetes friendly, but they won't last for long on the shelf. That means it is much more healthier than the something that is packaged.
But I think we also get flavored yogurts when it comes to Greek yogurts. So would you recommend that?
So eventually Greek yogurt can be flavored at home by ourselves also. Like so any kind of yogurt you can just bring home, cut in fresh fruits, put a spoonful of muesli, and you can just do the same thing that is provided in the market, but is loaded with a lot of preservatives. तो आपको जब फ्लेवर्ड योगर्ट खरीदना ही मतलब खाने का बहुत मन कर रहा है, तो just cut mango dices, put it in that cup of yogurt, refrigerate it. Within 10 minutes, it will absorb the flavor and kind of become similar thing. You can even
Becomes
just put a
flavored.
small stevia sachet, and it's as good as it. But of course, if you're outside and you have to really purchase something to soothe yourself, then I think something which is with the sweetener, recommended sweetener stevia, वैसा वाला flavored yogurt ले सकते हैं, be it Greek yogurt or regular yogurt.
So Ujjwala, we have few questions from our viewers who are currently live from Facebook, YouTube, wherever. I am just picking up one question for now. Janak Joshi, she's asking, can we use sugar alternatives in milk and milk products?
Sugar alternatives, yes. Like I mentioned, stevia is a good sugar alternative. So if you are in this weather, it comes by default that you want to drink something sweet to cool yourself down, right? So इस time पे यदि हम आपको बोलेंगे कि सिर्फ पानी पी लीजिए, it's not going to happen, because if you're out and about, you feel like drinking nimbu pani, and for a diabetes that comes like with a question mark, how can I have nimbu pani with sugar? So carry your own sachets, stevia sachets, या फिर carry your stevia pellets, small डब्बी जिसमें उसकी गोलियां होती हैं. आप एक गोली डाल के अपना कोई भी मीठा ड्रिंक कर सकते हैं, बीट नींबू पानी, बीट दही. So you can use these sugar alternatives specifically in this season, but the best idea is to actually inculcate a habit to not even use sweeteners and just simply use the dairy or the yogurt by itself.
Okay. So next question we have from Malti. She is asking, is it true dairy products can cause insulin resistance?
Yes, they can cause insulin resistance if somebody is high on full fat milk, full cream milk. That means the fat percentage is 6%, and it is loaded in saturated fats, and the person is also, so this is very classically observed in North Indians, because they are cooking their meals in ghee, everything like parathas. Anyways, the food is high on carbs because parathas and rice, rajma chawal, aloo paratha. So if you go to the north side, they are very prone to diabetes as well. It's not that only they are prone to diabetes. Of course, Indians all over the country are prone to diabetes for their own individual reasons. But if somebody were to have a diet which is high on dairy products, coming like paneer paratha bana ke kha rahe hain, wo bhi full fat milk ka hai. Then you're consuming this aloo paratha which is loaded in ghee. So the excess fat in the body on consumption, specifically saturated fat, is going to accumulate in the heart, and heart mein jayega, so it is, and diabetes people are also prone to heart attacks. So you have to really keep your heart in a good condition. So try to balance your saturated fat consumption. तो यदि आपने एक आध, so my whole idea is try to control the amount of fat in the milk by purchasing milk which is low on the fat, like toned milk or low fat milk. And if you want to use ghee on top, आप अपने रोटी पे फुलके के ऊपर थोड़ा सा लगा के खाएं, but don't drench your parathas into that ghee or fat. So there is a limitation to it. Try to restrict the total fat intake coming from the dairy to 2 teaspoons per day only.
Good insights, Ujjwala. I think, like our title line says, is it safe to even consume milk and milk products? So, to our viewers who are currently live, yes, it is totally safe for you, but you have to make sure how you consume it and what are the products that you are consuming on daily basis. Also depends on the kind of diet that you're following, right? Is there anything that if you would like to like sum up?
So, firstly, quality of milk is very important. Talk to your दूध वालास, make man से आप बात करिए किस तरीके से आप कोई भी ब्रांड का भी खरीद रहे हैं, तो उनसे पता लगाइए कि are you aware of it? If they are not aware, then you do your own research as a informed consumer. If you feel there is some, definitely a large scale production here, like there are huge brands out there which are producing milk at large scale, that means definitely the animal is injected with hormones. Then go for some brand which is producing milk at small scale, they are taking care about the quality of milk. That kind of, even that much care if taken, you are actually helping yourself. The second thing is you want to go for something which is lighter. Don't go for full fat milk. Skim milk या low fat milk is better. Okay. Again, अगर आप वो वाला वैसा टाइप का दूध लेते हैं तो also observe the quantity of milk because पेट नहीं भरता है with skim milk. तो people tend to, जो आप हाफ ग्लास फुल फैट मिल्क लेते थे, अब आप फुल 1 glass skim milk ले रहे हैं. That means the carbohydrate is going to go higher. It will impact your sugars negatively. So balance it out. So these two pointers are very important while choosing the type of milk you want to consider.
Right. So I am so happy to see so many people live today. Please make sure that you write down your queries. We are still live. You can always comment and ask us. And अगर आपके पास अभी कोई सवाल नहीं है, so make sure you always reach out to us. We are here to help you. And lastly, I would like to thank Ujwala for being live with us today and इतने सारे health tips देने के लिए. I am sure people will find this useful. And I also hope that you enjoyed the session.
Yes. And actually, Rachna, there was one question on paneer. I remember somebody had asked she had just dropped a question
Yeah.
on the flyer, right?
Oh, okay.
So that is also one important question that we should answer. Actually, I think you did ask me, but I think I missed out on it. So paneer, यदि आप घर पे बनाते हैं, again low fat milk भी का पनीर इतना effectively नहीं बनता है. It is always, we know, the creamier the milk, the better the paneer quality is going to be. So if you're consuming paneer, try to just introduce it into your diet twice a week if it is that full fat milk. Otherwise, you can just simply make cow's milk paneer at home. For your kids also, you can actually give them on a daily basis if the quality of milk is good. Also very important, आप बाहर का पनीर ट्राई करें ना ले, बिकॉज बाहर के पनीर में सब पीपल टेल मी, द क्लाइंट्स टेल मी कि वो टेक्सचर नहीं मिलता है. व्हेन वी आर मेकिंग मिल्क एट होम, दैट्स द रीजन वी बाय फ्रॉम आउटसाइड. तो इफ यू बाइंग इट फॉर गेस्ट इज फाइन, बट अगर आप बाहर का पनीर खाने का इतना आदत डाला हुआ है बिकॉज यू फाइंड इट cumbersome to make it at home, although it is not cumbersome at all, try to get rid of that habit, because generally the paneer that is bought from outside has a lot of thickener also, जिसकी वजह से वो इतना granular नहीं होता and becomes like a block, a good
I
mass when you
totally agree to this because हम जब मार्केट से ले आते हैं तो it's a huge cube. But when we try making it at home, say with 1 liter of milk, it is hardly this much.
Hmm. So, of course, the amount of milk that will be required to make the same amount of paneer is going to be similar, be at home or be outside. But at home, we are not going to add any kind of thickener, or something to bind the grains, the milk granules in such a way that it becomes like a good block. So, आप घर पे भी बना सकते हैं, but it will only happen with full fat milk. So if you are so fond of milk, if the person is fond of milk, then you will definitely want to reduce the frequency and the consumption of paneer, because ultimately it is a high fat paneer. It is going to create a lot of sluggishness also in the body. So अगर आप high protein diet पे जाना चाह रहे हैं, vegetarian है, and the trainer at the gym has told you to introduce paneer into your diet, then it has to be cow's milk paneer. And again, watch your quantity, because you will be consuming other dairy products as well.
Right, I totally agree. So let me know if you people have any questions. We are still live. Hello, Aditi ji.
Acha Rachna, till the time Aditi ji is getting her question sorted, there's one more point that came to my mind is, if somebody is having a lot of food allergies, so unke liye actually cow's milk is not recommended. Specifically also for babies, weaning के लिए cow's milk इतना recommend नहीं करते, because it is known to be an allergen. तो जिसको lactose intolerance नहीं है but food allergies बहुत ज्यादा होती है, in those cases then the advice would be to take non dairy milk primarily. या फिर the person cannot take non dairy milk, वो रोज almond milk नहीं बन पा रहा है या बाहर से भी नहीं सोर्स हो पा रहा है, because of course it is going to be expensive. one want to source almond milk. Coconut milk is not that expensive, but again, not everybody would like to consume coconut milk. They're not so, even soy milk for that matter. People are afraid still of soy milk, and किसी किसी को taste ही नहीं पसंद आता. They feel कि सिंगदाने खा रहे हैं. So all those things happen. So if somebody is still wanting to consume milk, then it will have to be buffalo milk in that case if they have food allergy, या फिर नॉन डेयरी मिल्क टू बी कंप्लीटली सेफ. बिकॉज बफलो मिल्क को आप थोड़ा सा डाइल्यूट करके भी पी सकते हैं. उबाली उसको 2 बार बॉईल करिए एंड फिर जितना भी आप ले रहे हैं, अगर आप इफ यू यूज टू टेकिंग अ टॉल ग्लास ऑफ मग फुल ऑफ टी और कॉफी, देन उसमें हाफ मिल्क हाफ वाटर करके भी पी सकते हैं. सो दैट इज फॉर समबडी हु इज मिल्क allergent.
Good insight, Ujjwala. So I think we have one last question which says कि क्या हम bedtime tea ले सकते हैं? Again, like I mentioned, people are so addicted to drinking teas on their daily basis.
अगर आप सच में मेरी राय फॉलो करेंगे तो आई वुड से नो. और अगर आप पूछ के उसको फिर भी कल पिएंगे तो कंटिन्यू रखिए. It's not recommended, as I mentioned earlier, really not advisable, because you are not setting a good tone for the day. You इससे तो आपको बेटी लेना ही है ना, तो आप ऐसा करिए, एक एप्पल खा लीजिए पहले, या फिर आपको लगता है कि नींबू पानी नहीं पी सकते हैं तो आप एक कप दालचीनी का पानी पी लीजिए, एंड देन यू लैंड अप इनटू टी. That could be the advice.
I hope that was self-explanatory. I don't need to explain further. So, with this, we are ending today's AMA live session. Thank you so much, everyone who joined us today for the AMA. Make sure that you keep doing this with us. And every Friday, we come live on different topics. If you have anything in mind, any queries, please reach out to us. We are here to answer all your questions. Thank you so much. I hope you all have a good weekend ahead. Thank you so much, Ujjwala ji, for joining us today.
Thank you, Rachna. It was a pleasure to have you as the host, because I think it really goes very well when we are talking together.
Right. Agree. I totally agree. Thank you so much.
Most
Thank you so
welcome.
much, everybody.
Thank you. Bye.